The key word is tricks.
Tricks.
Like what you're seeing here is that
Yes.
when the sheeple or the chickens in the
Right.
coop
Right. Right.
realize that they're being led by an imposter, by
That's
somebody
right.
who is, being blackmailed behind the scenes and who has lied through their teeth in order to get elected, and then
That's
suddenly
right.
when they're in power, does the
That's
complete
right.
opposite and seems to be guided by some other master
Correct.
rather than
Correct.
the populace. Okay, so what
Correct.
do? They just shuffle that person out and put a new
Of
person
course.
in their place. But
Of
it's the
course.
same system. It's just like loading a new
You bet.
bullet aimed at your head.
You bet.
Okay,
Yes, that part I did.
right.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter, does it? In other words, if you're living in a coliseum in the
Right.
Roman times and
Yeah.
you're the slave in the middle there,
Right.
if they bring out a
Well,
bear,
I'm
if
not implying that by
yeah,
keeping turtle
mm-hmm,
government in power longer is going to be beneficial to
uh-huh.
us.
No, I'm not. I'm
But,
not. I'm not.
from a
Yeah.
timeline perspective, I
Mm-hmm.
think as the cabal systems coming, still in the process of collapsing
This is
and
the point.
crumbling,
This is the point. Yes.
right? So, if Turtle stays on for another 6 months, it doesn't hurt us as much. Because I mean, he's so unpopular, he's so not welcome. Like, what else can he do, right? Damage
Right.
wise, he's also trapped and stuck in a situation the way
True.
I see it.
Now,
Because if we're
yes.
to flip it, you see the polls, obviously, people hated federal liberal government and federal NDP so much, the average sheeples would immediately turn around and favors or try to bring up, conservative party,
We are talking
right?
politics
So
tonight.
that will, right. So that would favor that Pierre guy,
Yes. Now, we're talking
right?
politics tonight, and what you're saying is correct. That there
Right.
is a slippery slope
There is a slippery slope.
towards
Yes,
totalitarianism, and that we
that's
may
right.
be able to climb up out of that pit, and we may be able
Hmm.
to find a more, conducive helper,
Right.
that's going to not damage us so much, a lesser
Yes.
evil.
Right.
And
Right.
now the problem here is that
Yes.
what is the real agenda? Now, there, I want to
Yes.
focus on polarity here.
Yes, please.
Look at the concept of the agenda that the dark has over us, which is to always shuffle out with their puppets. If a puppet
Right.
gets contaminated and gets
That's right.
eggs and shit thrown at them, what they
Of
do is they
course.
shuffle that out and bring in a new puppet, but the system never changes.
That's right. Then
Okay?
start all over again.
Exactly. Now, what is the agenda to counter that? Now, there's, in my view, historically,
Yes.
there's two possible
Yes.
methods. One
Sure.
is a complete destruction of the system, aka the French Revolution,
That's
where
right.
you come along with violent force, you remove the complete control system, and you chop off their heads. Okay,
Certainly.
and then
Yes.
if you're successful, you build a new republic under Napoleon, who then has to go around and defend itself or himself against the vipers that are still at the fringes, which are the
Hmm.
other, in the case of 1801, the other monarchies surrounding France.
Yes.
Now, is that it? And then, of course, then they get armies together and they defeat you at Waterloo.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
many hundreds of thousands of people die in that process? What kind of violence and mayhem is involved in that kind of change?
Hmm.
It's immense.
Yes.
It's not. It's enormous.
Hmm.
No, this
Hmm.
has been tried, and it hasn't worked. It's been
Right.
unsuccessful, and it
That's
was
right.
tried again in World War One,
Yes.
where the
The,
monarchs behind the European powers, like Tsar
right.
Nicholas and the
Nicholas. Right.
Kaiser and
Hmm.
the head of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. I don't have to go into the details.
No.
The
No.
point is that people fought and died against that, and
That's
it
right.
still didn't work.
That's
You
right.
see, this is the problem. This is the
Yes.
problem. People are fooled because they think that just shuffling out the puppets will somehow
Hmm.
change the system. No, it won't. It won't. What we
Hmm.
have to do is we have to do something a little different.
Yes.
And
No,
this is, yeah.
I'm in total
Now,
agreement
would
with
you like
what
to
you
hear
just
my
said.
opinion
You
of
know,
what the little different is?
yes,
The little the little different is to wake people up
but
to the fact of this system.
that's right.
Okay?
You
Uh,
definitely have to wake people up
yes,
first.
you have to wake people up to exactly what's going on. Just a second, please. I'm sorry, I'm back.
No, no worries. Not a problem.
So,
No.
what I was trying to say, what I was trying to complete
Yes.
here, is that we have a
Sure.
new way of doing it. And the new way is called wake people up to this process.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, isn't that it? Wake people up and make them realize that it's
Hmm.
their fixation on a savior, on a leader
Yes.
who's somehow
That's
going to
right.
carry them into liberation and freedom. That is the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. It's not the people themselves getting together and creating their own equal opportunity communities.
Correct.
It's them looking to somebody to lead them.
That's right.
Why do we need a leader? Well, since when is that the
In
effect?
reality, we don't. Just simply look at what's going on down in the states with the
Exactly.
Mr. Orangeman syndrome, right?
Now, see what the psychology of this is that you only need a leader if you're being attacked.
Right.
Because then it's like, you live in a cave and there's a lion out there or a tiger or whatever, a jackal.
Right.
And you have to have some guy at the mouth of the cave with a sword preventing that evil or that danger from entering.
Sure.
Okay? So in other words, the forces that be, without mentioning names, are always trying to make us feel as if we're in a cave requiring protection, and they are it. They're
Yes.
protecting us from war.
Right.
And if they make a war, then it's protecting us from the enemy in that war.
Right.
And they're protecting us from starvation or hunger by always providing us with what we need in case we don't behave, in which case they make it expensive and cut it off as a form of pressure for control. Or
Right.
maybe we need heat for our homes, in the winter. Well, then we better obey what they want, or else we might find that reduced.
Right.
So these are the levers of control. It's always
Yes.
conformity or suffer, obey or die.
Yep. That's what the
Listen,
EU is going through.
that's what we're all going through constantly in
That's right.
ad infinitum, historically and today, and we have to wake up to this process and we have to reject it and we have to realize that there's another way to live. There's another way to thrive. There's another way to evolve. And that is without somebody constantly controlling us and pulling us into extremity.
Hmm.
Well,
Yep.
can't we see it? Can't you see it? Can't I see it? Unfortunately, many people can't see it.
Correct.
What are we going to do about that?
Wake them up.
Well, this is the new method. The new method is not just have a revolution overtly, have a
Right.
revolution covertly for the minds of the people.
That's right.
Have a an enlightenment for the minds of the people, so they can see the system in which they're enslaved, so that they can decide, no, I'm not going to just fight and die for the new leader who says he's going to save me. I'm not just going to
Right.
grab my guns and go fight with some other guys with guns or whatever in some kind of civil war or revolution, and that somehow I'm going to think that my team has victory while the other has defeat.
Right.
There are no teams. There are no victories or defeats.
Hmm.
You know why? Because we're all human. We're
That's
all
right.
together. We all
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
And anyone who says that we have to die for a cause or suffer for what's right is evil.
Well, they have to give a clear and well defined definition of right, defending one's rights. because I believe the system has been lying and fooling us for many generations.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I have to
You
fight for
know,
my rights to be, I don't know, an alternative sexuality. I have to fight for my rights in order to be an alternative, ethnicity. What?
right.
No, you don't have to fight for anything. And we don't have rights. We have equality for all. There is no differentiation because we're all human. It's just a different style of being human. You might look different in your body. You might have a different clothing. You might wear a different skin color. This is, the people who are trying to constantly divide and conquer us. They've got to go. This has
That's
to
right.
stop. Why the hell can't, children can? You put a bunch of kids together in elementary school, and they're all different colors, ethnicities, and whatever you want. Do they have a problem?
No,
No,
never.
never.
Hmm.
Stop.